Hi, this is in response to something that someone asked about day-to-day living with bipolar and bipolar day-to-day stories. And this is going to be kind of like I'm reading from what I wrote. I'm sorry, but that's just how the way it's going to be. And the quality is probably going to be kind of poor because it's pretty dark. It's storming. You might be able to hear the thunder. And as soon as I'm done with this, I have to start winding down because I'm just winding up. Okay, so day to day things. When I'm manic, I walk and I don't notice the blisters forming on my feet. I lose track of time. It becomes disjointed and disorganized. I run into things I started and abandoned as my day goes on. For example, wondering why there are dirty dinner dishes on my bathroom sink. At some point, I intended to take them downstairs. This happens to everyone now and then, but this happens all day. I find I have forgotten important things because I got lost in time. When I'm depressed, it is more like forgetfulness or losing interest and abruptly ending a task or project. When it is mania, I don't know what it is at all. I'm just surprised to find things. Time gets tangled up and the days start to run together. Even when I sleep, my mind is hyperactive. So it seems like I was still awake. So it all runs together. When I have mania, especially mixed type, I get intense irritability. I've had embarrassing outbursts in public that come on very suddenly, and I don't have any time to stop them. Then I have to apologize and try to fix the damage that I've caused. I've done this at a neurologist's office waiting room, and they didn't want me to make a follow-up appointment after that. And I did these are just a couple examples. In college, at the college bookstore, it wasn't my college, it was a different college, and so I had to go back to that college dean and apologize personally for swearing and throwing books. And just conversation. When I'm manic, I tend to interrupt people quite a bit while they're talking. I stand and fidget and pace while I talk. And I hate this. And I laugh too loudly. It just comes out of my mouth and it's really too loud. And I'm super conscious of it right after it's happened. And I apologize to whoever's with me. I'm sorry, I laughed too loud. Colors become brighter. Music and words take on very profound and deep meanings. I try to explain and ask other people, you know what I mean? When I'm trying to, like, you know, the music, it's this and this and this, you know? And they don't hear or feel it the same way I do, and I wonder what's wrong with them. Tiny things start to look huge and mean big things, like the cracks in the sidewalk and blades of grass take on meaning, and they get very clear. Lines are more acute. Contrast is just more. People are ready to rest and go to sleep, and I'm trying to get them back revved up to where I'm at. Come on, let's go. What's wrong with you? Sometimes people can't stand to be around me when we're trying to watch TV because I constantly interrupt the television and talk over the TV or movie. Sometimes I can't talk in a straight line of thought, and I can see in the expression on the other person's face that they can't follow me while I'm talking, and so I just walk off angry. Embarrassed, because I'm mostly just embarrassed. When I'm depressed, my thoughts flow like the thickest honey, and I have to fish for them in my brain. I close my eyes a lot when I'm in that kind of depression because I'm looking for my thoughts, the thing I want to say next, and I go finding them. And a doctor thought I was listening to voices, and I said, no, just thinking. I did one great thing while I was manic that I wouldn't have never been able to do. when, if I had never been hypomanic. When I was manic, I messed it all up and had to go back and fix it. But I did write a book. Well, manuscript, I'm sorry, because it is not published yet. I am editing it right now. I am on editing chapter 5. It is my dream for it to be published, even in a tiny publisher. It is not a memoir, bipolar memoir. It's fiction story about a little girl and her friends as she grows from about 5 years old to 17, and it's strictly about those relationships with her friends, girlfriends, what girls and friends, you know, what's important to them, and, you know, that boy liked you and not me, and things like that. I press on even a little bit every day with it. It's the only thing that keeps me here. I did have an episode during Mania where I wrote some poetry, but it really only means anything to me because it was about some thoughts, some really ugly thoughts I was having, and I was not able to express them to anybody, so I got them down on paper, and they really mean a lot to me, a big hunk of poetry, but nothing anybody else would understand. Sometimes I forget to eat, sometimes I eat too much, sometimes I don't move, sometimes I walk for miles, sometimes I have great ideas, and sometimes my mind goes blank, and that is my day-to-day living with bipolar. Basically, you just never know what to expect.